Let us go and try to understand today introduction about the ETL, Informatica. Then followed with that one, we'll go for the components. What are the components are available? Okay. Actually, we learned about installations. There we learned how to install the database. Then how to install the server installation of the Informatica and the client installation of the Informatica. If you install the server, what are the components you are getting? If you install the client, what are the components we are getting? And how to work with those components, today we are going to understand about it. The first point about is Informatica, as people are aware of it, it is an ETL or integration tool. Whatever you are calling, both are one and same. Call it as ETL tool or integration tool. It is useful to do only three activities. One is called as extracting the data. It may be from same sources or it may be from different sources, and transform to analytical data. And finally, we are trying to load the data into data warehouse. This point already you people are aware of it. In Informatica, the latest version is 9.6 is the one which is latest version. And the earlier famous versions of Informatica these are the earlier famous versions which are available in the market. In Informatica, we have mainly following components. This is what we have to focus today mainly. In Informatica, we have mainly following components. First component is called as Informatica Administration Console. Informatica Administration Console. Who is responsible for this component? Which role of the people? Admin is a corresponding person for this component. When it is came here, actually as part of the server installation or as part of the client installation, it is came, we have to understand. If you go and see that one, let us say I am going for here all programs, then go for Informatica installation location. Then we have as part of the server software installation, we got a folder. That folder is known as server folder. Only server folder will appear as part of the server installation. If I go for the server, there you can observe we have one thing that is known as Informatica Administrator homepage. Informatica Administrator homepage. Whatever we are seeing here, Informatica Administrator homepage, that is nothing but we are calling it as Administration Console. The moment you click on this one, then we are going to get here one web page. We are going to get it. This is for the web page what we are getting. In my case, Mozilla browser has some issue with the key and all. So what we can do is we can open using the Internet Explorer. We can open. Let me open Internet Explorer. Then we have to type the URL. Already people are aware of it. HTTPS is the one we have to provide. Why? Because at the time of installation we selected enable HTTPS protocol. And the computer name where my software is installed is the computer name is RRITEC is the computer name. And the domain port number is 8443 is the domain port number. And we are trying to open administrator component. We are trying to open. So provide here administrator component, administrator. Then we are getting here one thing. It is not recommended. Something is available. Go on to take that one. Go and try to take that one. Then you can observe here this what the URL what we got it. It is better you can add to the favorites also. If you want to add it, you can add the favorites. Okay, click on the add to the favorites, click on add. Now down the line you can go and you can click on the Informatica Administrator. We are going to get that one. Okay, now whatever username is available here, that username is administrator. Why? Because actually you gave the administrator is a username and password also administrator, and we are trying to log in here. Now we are familiar with the URL. The URL is you have to type HTTP yes, then we have to type RRITEC, then port number is 8443, and this up to here if you type also you are going to open. If it is not opening, then go for administrator, then slash, then slash admin. Okay, this is what we are providing. If you try to open this one directly, it will open. So we are able to remember this one, I think. Now we are trying to type here, just enter. We are going to get the URL we are getting here. Some slashes are problem. I think written slash I given here. So this is what the URL. So I think slash I given opposite like given. Or this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. Now if you provide this URL directly, if you provide this URL directly, we are going to get it. Okay, so you can remember this URL whatever available. Now tell me, by seeing this URL, it is a web-based component or Windows-based component? It is a web-based component, right? This is a web-based component. So what is the advantage of this component? And who is going to control this one? We have the control on this component. We have administrator. Administrator will have the control on this component. Administrator will have control on this component. And what are the activities we are going to do using this one is, number one, configuring the domains. If you go and observe inside this one, we have one thing that is known as, this is called as domain. Under the domain we are seeing a domain navigator. Okay, domain corresponding any properties you want to change it. Let us say wherever your database is sitting, this is what this database is sitting. If you want to modify, let us say database of the domain, you can go and you can modify from here, or if you want to do any other things, you can do from here. Okay, resources or permissions. Okay, this kind of things, any domain related activities, if we want to do it, we are going to do using this one. Not only the domain related, we have here next one that is called as logs. Next is available called as monitoring, then reports, then securities. These are the 5 activities what we are going to do. That's what I given here. One is called as configuring the domains. Second is called as logs. Third is called as monitoring. Fourth is called as reports. Fifth is called as security. These are the 5 activities what we are going to do using admin. Out of this one, first one we'll go try to understand in the domain navigator what we can do it. Under domain navigator what we can do it. We can configure the domain information. That is the one thing. That's what we given here, configuring the domains. Second, we can configure the node corresponding information. That's what we have here, node corresponding information is available. Then third one is available, that's called as repository service. It's very important service actually. If you go and see, each batch people created one repository service they created. Each batch people created one repository service they created. If you go and see this one, it's saying as the Power Center repository service is available. We have here so many repository services are available. Repository service is a storage location. Repository service is a storage location of all your Informatica work. Down the line, whatever work you do in Informatica, that work will come and store into the repository service only. Okay, it is a storage location simply. And into this repository service, someone has to push the data, right? That is reading the data from here, writing the data, and executing the data. These all activities will be done by integration service. We'll talk more about this one later point of time. As of now, we have here, this is repository service, and below if you go and observe here, we do have here integration service are available. Whatever we are seeing this one, this is called as integration service. This is called as integration service. Integration service. So now you can observe here, this was the integration service. Tell me now, what is the first component we learned about it? What is the first component as part of the server installation we got? As part of server software installation we got number one component. That component is called as administration console. Administration console, using what are the activities we are doing? Using this component we are trying to configure domain. Okay, under the domain navigator we are configuring mainly domain related information, node related information, repository service information, integration service information we are trying to configure. We'll go more details while you are doing this component. Second one, we can do using this component. What is the next activity? If you see here, next one that is available here, logs. Suppose anything is troubling you, you want to see more details about the reason of the failure, then you can come here and you can see the reason. For example, we have here some node related errors you want to know within the last day or whatever it is. Then go and try to click on here, and if you have any errors are available, it is going to show the errors. As of now I don't have any errors, that is the reason it is not throwing any errors. Okay, if you go for the service manager, some kind of infos are available, that infos we are able to see it. Log will available only in admin console. It is totally server level log is available in admin console. Your mappings, I mean to say loading the data from source to target will be available, right? Source to target loading will be available. That one is available wherever you are running the components, there only it is available. This is totally server related log is available here. Server related log is available here. Okay, next one is available here, logs. This is totally server related logs are available here. Next, third one is available. The third one is called as monitoring. What we are going to monitor? Suppose anything is running, which are the services are running, we can go and we can see here. Please select a service to see the defaults whatever available. But as of now there is no service are available here, so we cannot select here. We cannot select anything. Okay, right. So this is the useful to monitor what are the things are running. To monitor it is useful. So next is available, that is called as third one. Third one is for monitoring. Third one is called as monitoring. Monitoring about what? Servers run stats. Monitoring. We are trying to monitoring here servers run status. Then fourth one is available, that is called as, we have here reports. It is very important whenever you are working as admin. In case of the production, we always make sure we are using the licensed products only we are using. Okay, for that, if you go for the production, if you go for here report, click on the go. What are the licenses we have it, and when it is going to expire, those all information it is going to give here. If you see here, this is what the version and expire date is available, this is what the never expire is available, and blah blah we have the things. Okay, each component, what is the expire date, those all things it is going to give it. All it is giving is selecting the deployment levels and edition and security related information, licensing related, usage related, CPU details, repository summary, all the things it is giving. So it is giving information about reports. What information it is giving? This is all information it is giving. Number one is called as licensing information. Next, it is giving the information about the CPU summary. Next, it is giving the information CPU detail, blah blah. So etc. information it is trying to give here. Now security. End of the day, who need to access, who need not access, that is controlled by security. That security will have internally users, groups, rules are available. Security will have internally users, groups and roles. Let us open this one. It's opening. Now we are seeing here, what is this? It is users. Who are the users are available in our environment? We can go and we can see by expanding here. Okay. Now other batch people created some users, they created those users we can see here. And what are the groups are available and what are the roles are available, we can go on to see it. So something is related to the security. Now we have here fifth one. The fifth one is known as security. Security is nothing but we are talking about here users, then we are talking about here groups, then we are talking about here roles. These are the things what we are going to talk about it. Now totally this component is controlled by one role of people, admin role of people will be controlling this one. Who is the role of people controlling? Admin role. Any questions about this component? This is came as part of the server software installation, we got it. That component is called as administration console. Apart from this one, what else we got as part of the server installation? We got as part of the server installation, starting your Informatica service, stopping Informatica service, uninstaller. These all things are one-time activities only. If you want to install the product, we will go for it. If you want to start or stop the servers, we are going for this one. But regularly used component is Informatica administrator home page. That too it is regularly used by administrator is going to use it. Any questions you want to ask here? Any questions? Krishna, Manohar, Pankaj, Santosh? Okay. No questions? That's good. Now, let's go for the next one. Once we have here that component, second component is available, that's called as what? Informatica Repository Manager. Informatica Repository Manager. If you go and observe, let us say I am going for the start, then all programs, then Informatica 9.5.1, then client, Power Center client. As part of the client software installation, we got one of the component. That component is known as Repository Manager. Power Center Repository Manager is came as part of the which installation? Client installation. So now we can say as part of client software installation. Client software installation, we got the number one component is called as Power Center Repository Manager. What exactly we are going to do using this component? What exactly we are going to do using this component? We are going to do exactly what it is. Let us go and try to open that one first. I am trying to open all programs, Informatica, client, Power Center client, Power Center Repository Manager. Click on OK. Now tell me, it is a Windows-based tool or it is a web-based tool? Can you open this one using URL? No, it is not possible to open using URL. It is a Windows-based component. It is a Windows-based component. Previously, whatever available, this one we are opening using URL. It is a web-based component. Right. Now let us say we have here one of the thing is available. Let us say previous batch repository service. This is called as repository service, which you created in admin console, that will appear here, or we have to add here. Once you add it, suppose you want to do the activities called as exporting and importing kind of activities, you have to do it. You did one beautiful workflow, you did it. This workflow you want to export it. This workflow whatever available, you want to export it. You can right click and you can export it. Multiple things you want also, you can select here and you can export here. Once you export it, it's going to go as a XML file format. From development you can export it and testing you can import it. So this process, whatever available, right? We are doing here one activity. That activity is known as deployment. Deployment is nothing but exporting from our environment and importing into the other environment. Exporting and importing together, we are saying as a deployment concept. One box to other box, we are going to do it. Development box to testing box, or our testing box to production box. We used to do the deployment. Then second point is, if you want to better organize the things, here we have the folders are available. You can create the folders. So repository manager is useful to create the folders also. So these are the two main activities what we are going to do in using the repository manager. And who is going to do this deployment? Any idea? Normally, who is going to do this deployment? Yes, admin. Yes, most of the cases it is admin is the one guy who is going to do it. However, there is a possibility from development to testing. Sometimes we also will be doing it. That is the reason. Give the knowledge wise. Admin need to be aware of this one, as well as developer also need to be aware of this one. Both the resources need to be aware of it. Admin as well as developer both need to be aware of it. Okay, now let us move on to the next one, that's called as third one. If you go for third one, we have a component that is known as start all programs. There we are seeing here Informatica, then client, then Power Center client. We are seeing a component that is known as Power Center Designer. If I click on this Power Center Designer, then it is going to open on component it is opening. This is what the component what it is opened. And inside this one, if you go and try to open any one repository, you can open the repository. Once you open the repository, we can see here what exactly we are doing inside this one. What exactly we are doing inside this one, what it is. Here we have one thing that is called as what it is. We are controlling the source. We are controlling what? Source we are controlling. That is what it is called as source analyzer. So you people understand, we have next component that is known as Power Center Designer. In the Power Center Designer, the first component, it talks about one thing that is called as source analyzer. Okay, it talks about source. Okay, next work area available that is called as, what is this called as? It is called as target designer. Okay, now second component is available that is known as target designer. It talks about only targets. What is your target? It is going to talk about it. It talks about targets. Now, third component is available that is known as we have here transformation developer. So what, where to where we have to transform the data that we are going to convert it. For example, we are trying to convert here first name, last name, whatever available. That one we are trying to concatenate here. First name, last name, we are trying to concatenate here. So we have here next one that is known as transformation. Yes, please go on mute. Transformation developer. Okay, now this transformation developer is useful to convert one form of data into another form. Convert one form of data into another form. Okay, that will be handled using the transformation developer. Fourth one is, we have here one thing that is known as Maplet Designer. So Maplet Designer. What is a Maplet Designer? Is a set of transformations. A set of transformations are known as maplet. So a number of transformations together we used to call it as maplet. Now what is a mapping here? Next one is available, that's one is known as last one, that is called as mapping designer. Mapping designer. So mapping is nothing but it's a combination of whatever you develop, the source, target, transformation, maplet, everything is going to come and sit here. Okay, so a mapping contains your source plus target plus transformations plus maplets. All together is known as mapping. Now this is what we are going to do in the Power Center Designer. By seeing this one, you tell me who is going to work on this component. That's right, developer. Developer is going to work on this component, developer role. Okay, admin will not take care about this component. Now, by seeing this name itself, it is a design time object or runtime object. Design time, right? Okay. Now, if you want to run this one, then what you have to do then? If you want to run this one, then what you have to do it? Yes. Then we have to go for one more component is available, that is known as all programs, then Informatica, then client, Power Center client. We have a component that is known as Power Center Workflow Manager. Power Center Workflow Manager. In the Workflow Manager, let us go and try to open our repository service. Now, if you go and see the Workflow Manager, in this Workflow Manager, again we have the three work areas are available. Workflow Manager contains what? Three work areas are available. So fourth component, that is called as Power Center Workflow Manager, which contains here number one. What is that? First work area, that is called as task developer. You know what is task developer? If we take the task here, the task developer is expecting what it is expecting here. Mapping. That means whatever you created here in the designer last one, that is coming as a input to here. Input to here. So that one we are achieving using the work area. That area is called as task developer is the one thing. Task developer. Okay, now task developer is going to take the session task, email task, n number of tasks are all. Task is nothing but one work. This n number of tasks together is known as worklet. Next one is available, that is known as worklet designer. Worklet designer is nothing but a set of tasks are called as worklet. And third one is called as, we have here workflow designer. Now we go for the workflow designer. Then what is workflow designer is, whatever we created the tasks here and whatever you create the worklets here, both will be come and sit in the workflow designer. So it is nothing but tasks plus worklets together. We can integrate inside the workflow designer. We can integrate it. That's what called as Power Center Workflow Manager. Suppose you went here and you ran one thing here. Right click on this one. Then are trying to run this one. Start workflow from task. The moment you start this one, then you're going to get one window shortly. This is what the window we got. This window is known as Power Center Workflow Monitor. Power Center Workflow Monitor. Before going for that one, you tell me this is going to take care of who is the person? Developer is the person who is going to take care of this one. And fifth component is available, that is known as Power Center Workflow Monitor. Power center, workflow, monitor. Here we are going to take care number one, that is called as status. We can observe here. What is happening here? The status we are able to observe here. What is the status? It is succeeded or failed. Those things we are able to observe it. Okay, status we can observe here. Then second, suppose any one thing is failed. Previously someone asked the question, logs we are going to see here only. That's what he's asking. No, your run corresponding logs you can see from here also. Get the session log means it is going to show you the logs, it is going to show it. If any errors are available, errors also it is going to show here. Okay, so that is get session log or get the workflow log. Okay, session level or workflow level, as well as we have here run statistics. You want it, how many rows are available in the source, how many rows are loaded into the target. That kind of run statistics also are going to get here. In the source 15 are available, we got to target one record, we got it. Okay, that all things we can be possible. One is what? Status, then we are going for the logs, then we can go for the statistics, etc. If you want to learn this one, who is going to learn it? Developer is responsible as well as admin guy also responsible. This is what the story of. As part of the server installation, we got only one component. Component is known as administration console component. We got it. As part of client software installation, we got Power Center Repository Manager, Power Center Designer, Power Center Workflow Manager, Power Center Workflow Monitor. We got it. If you learn these 5 components, you are a Informatica consultant, I can say. That means you can apply the position which is asking Informatica admin position, you can apply for that job. If anyone asking like Informatica developer we are looking for, you can apply for that job also. Normally consultant is a one guy who knows end to end. So if you learn these all 5 components, you are going to know end to end of the Informatica, even admin tasks as well as development tasks. Both the tasks we are going to learn here. Both the tasks we are going to learn here. Yes, is it clear? Anyone has any questions to ask here? If no, we'll start with the first component actually. If no, we'll start with the first component. Okay, you are saying as no, then what I will do is this work whatever I did, I am giving the chart, I am giving it. Okay, however, this is properly documented in our notes. You do not write in the anywhere. See here, already we documented, but if we document, we will have the more time to watch what I am writing over there, so that you'll understand more. That's what my feel. That's what I written here in the notepad. Whatever I written in the here, those all things already available here. Also, it is available. Okay, these are the 5 components which are available. Those 5 components we learn now. Introduction we learned. Now let us go and try to see the roles. Already people are aware of it. Developer role and administration role. Developer is mainly concentrating on this designer and workflow manager. Administrator is going to concentrate mainly on the console. Rest of the 2 components are shared components. Both the people has to know about that one. Both the people has to know about that one. Let us go and try to start our journey with first component, that is called as Informatica Administration Console. Let us go and try to start about that one. Let me go for Informatica Administration Console. That is the first component we are going to start here. Yes, this is the first component. Right. Please read that the 3 theory points what are available. Please read it. Okay. By reading this one, you might understand one point that is called as it is a web-based component from the version called as 8th version onwards. It is a web-based component. It is a web-based component from the version called as 8th version onwards. It is a web-based component. Earlier to this one, this component also Windows based only. If I want to work with this one remotely, I have to connect to the remotely. I have to connect to the PC where the server software is installed. I have to connect it and I have to work on that one. Now it's not required. You can sit anywhere and you can type the URL and you can do the admin activities. Now it is used to handle all admin activities. Administrator is going to work only on this component mainly. Instead of saying as only, you can say as mainly. You can say as instead of only, mainly we can say. Because most of the time is going to work here, but there are chances you also work with the repository manager and workflow monitor also, right? That is the reason instead of only you can say as mainly. Mainly on this component. In this one, what are the activities are available? Number one is called as repository service, integration service creation, users, groups, permissions. These 5 activities are main activities. You do have the logs, you do have the monitoring, those all things. But occasionally we are going to use those all things, right? Regularly used things are these are the regularly used ones. In that one, first one we are going to start here, that is called as creating the repository service. How to create the repository service we are going to learn about it. Now before going for the creation, what is exactly repository service? Repository service is a storage location of Informatica. It is going to store whatever work you are doing, let's say source information, target information, mapping information, task information, workflow information, etc. Everything is going to store in this repository service only. It is going to store it. Whatever work you are doing, everything is going to store in the repository service. We can say it is a one kind of bucket. There we are going to store the source information and target information and mapping information. These all things we are going to store over there. And as I'm saying, as it is a one kind of bucket, right? This bucket will have some tables, right? This information all together will store in database schema with the help of 512 tables. Now we have the clarity. Repository service is 512 table combination repository. Repository service is nothing but it is a storage location which contains 512 tables. It contains 512 tables. It contains these all tables are helping to store the source information, target information, those all objects, whatever we are going to do it. I can compare this one with our, this is nothing but with our human brain kind of thing. This is our human brain kind of thing. So human brain, whatever is storing, similarly, this is also going to store whatever information you are doing here. Those all things are going to store here. Okay. Now, such a beautiful repository service, how to create it? Such a beautiful repository service, how to create it? Let us go and try to see the step 1, that is called as starting Informatica server. If we want to create the repository service, first job we have to learn is how to start the Informatica server. We have to learn. Let us go and try to start that Informatica server. So we are going for here start, then go for here control panel, administrative tools, services, and select Informatica 9.5.1. Right click, then click on start. Right click, then click on start. So that is the one option. Otherwise, you can go for the start, run service.msc, select Informatica, right click, click on start. Or you can go for start all programs Informatica, we can start. Any one method, you can go for it. Generally, people will like to go for second method, whatever available, that is easy to access. That is the reason people will be going for that one. Suppose I am typing here start, then directly whatever available here in the search only, we are typing services.msc. The moment we are typing here services.msc, then enter here. Then we are going to get here one window. In that window, you can observe we have one of the service which is known as Informatica 9.5.1. You can right click on this one. If it is already not started, then start button will be enabled for you. You have to click on the button called as start button. You have to click on it. You have to click on the button called as start button. You have to click on it. Okay, once you click on the start button, then the server will be starting and it's going to show the status is equal to started. That's what exactly you have to do starting Informatica server. Any problems with the first point? Second point. Second point is available, that is Open Informatica Administrator homepage. You can go for start all programs Informatica server Informatica Administrator homepage. Start all programs Informatica server Informatica admin homepage. This is what the navigation. Okay, if you click on that one, it is going to open the administration console component is going to open. In my case, already it is opened here. This is what the component which is going to open. Once it is opened, it is going to ask you what is the username and what is the password. You have to provide the username as administrator and password also administrator. When you created this user, when you created this user, yeah, installation time we create this user. So with the time of installation, if you forget the password or username, whatever you given, it is very difficult here to get that one again. We do have the recovery process available, but please try to note down somewhere at the time of installation, whatever username, whatever password you given, please make a note of somewhere. Okay, right. Now we are going to click on here login, then it is going to open it. That's what here step 2, whatever available. Whatever we have the step 2 here. Now next is available, that is called as step 3, that is known as creating the repository schema in the database. Better I will continue from here in tomorrow's class. Anyhow, I cannot finish this repository service creation now. And I think if people are completed the installation, right? How many people completed the installation? Anyone? Krishna, you completed. Very good. Very good. Next. Pankaj, how far it is came? Santosh, you are going to do it today. Very good. Because we started the navigation part. If your system is available with you, then you can do best. Okay. Next, Sri Govind. Sri Govind. Okay, you do this weekend. Okay, fine. Next, whoever is not did also, please try to finish this weekend. If you need any help, tomorrow Saturday Kiran also available. Sunday you may not be available. That is the reason tomorrow only try to take help from the admin. Is going to help you out with all the softwares whatever is required, installation steps, everything. Okay, latest screens also available. Latest, I mean in the my document 9.1 version, one version screenshots are available, but admin has latest screenshots are available. Go and collect the latest screenshots. You can go and you can walk through it, but there is no much difference. Okay, both are looks like same. Okay, thank you. We'll try to meet on next class is as tomorrow Saturday. Okay, tomorrow we are going to meet. Tomorrow also we have the class. As it is morning 6 to 7. Okay, by tomorrow try to get all the softwares and material. I have a doubt on 512 tables. What is that? Okay, what is that? Come to understand that tomorrow more clearly. If you see here, we are the people. We are going to create tomorrow that 512 tables. If you see here, at the end, I am trying to confirm you people. You created here 512 tables or not? We are confirming it. We are the people. We are going to create those all tables. It's like if I ask a question in the database level, we have one thing, right? That is called as TAB. Okay, we have one table that is called as all underscore tables. Okay, and we have a table that is called as all underscore users. These are the tables which are available in the database, right? Suppose if you go to the SQL plus, then you are connecting to the Scott or something else, then Tiger, then we are saying as warcl, then we are typing here, let us say select star from tab, sorry, select star from tab. Then we got some tables or not? What is a tab? That is the one question. Then select star from all underscore tables. Then we got something we are getting here. What is all underscore table? These all things are called as actually system defined tables, right? Oracle system defined tables. Similarly, in Informatica also, to store the informatic information, whatever we are doing, we have the system defined tables that is known as 512 tables. These 512 tables together only we are saying as repository service. Okay, anyhow, more clarity you come to understand tomorrow, because we are the people, we are going to create that 512 tables. Okay, thank you. Tomorrow we'll meet. Bye bye.